Race for Wanzer Doughnut Dash 5K is an annual community event held in honor of the late Tywanza Sanders. Today, I talk one-on-one with the co-organizer of this event, Michele Gray, about what's new this year with this race for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Michele Gray, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, I appreciate it greatly. Needless to say, you are the co-organizer of the Race for Wanzer Doughnut Dash 5K, which is an annual community event established in the loving memory of Tywanza Sanders and his unforgettable legacy, that is. So, and I failed to mention that this particular event, which is a 5K run, is coming up in April. So,
yes.
Tell me, what's new, what's now with the Doughnut Dash?
So we actually have a lot new this year. This is our 9th year. So it's such a blessing to be able to do this for 9 years. So we are officially a sanctioned event by the USATF, which is huge for us. We started with just our family members coming, and now here we are 9 years later. And so we'll have a company, Grounded Running. They're an official race clock, company that's coming out. And so everybody will be able to track their time a little bit better than we've done it in the past and be able to keep a log of it in a more professional way when we have these guys coming out to help us. So those are the two big things. Of course, we'll have our jump castles for the kids. We have face painting this year, which is new. But just a few more things. We're trying to bring in some new stuff to for next year because it's our 10th year. So we really want to show up and show out.
Absolutely. And congratulations, obviously, on becoming a certified race. So
thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. So what led you all to, what led up to you all actually becoming a certified race?
Well, I wish I could take the credit, but my brother, Doughnut Gray, that's all him. That's something that we really strive for, and there was a couple things that we had to do in order to do that. We had to get the race professionally measured, and there's a couple, stepping stones that we took in our prior years to be able to get to this point by having, the amount of attendees and things of that nature. So I wish I could take the credit. But that is all my brother, and he works so hard yearly to put on this event. So he's the brains behind the operation, late nights, early mornings, and hounding several people via email and phone call. So we've been able to complete this, and it's something that we've been able to just check off the list, which is huge for us being a smaller organization.
Absolutely. So now that you have the certified race and you have the attendees, what else do you want to check off on your list?
Honestly, every year I'm just shocked that we get to this point. But I think just making it bigger and better. We eventually want to get to a point where, we have these same volunteers that come out, which is huge for us. Last year was one of the first years that we've had over 40 volunteers, which is huge because then some of us in the organization were able to kind of take a step back and really enjoy the moment, and really look at the progress we've done over the last few years. Wow. So we just want to keep growing.
Yes.
And I'm sure in a couple weeks we have our race, and at the end of that I'll be I cannot believe we did this again. It's every year I'm this is really happening. So we're just blessed and honored to be able to have such a good support system that allows us to continue to do this.
So when you step in that moment, what have you been able to observe over the past couple of years?
So we've been able to just kind of get down the organization of making that day, the race day, flow better. Whether that's moving people around. Like I said, we've had a lot of the same volunteers over the last 9 years, which is huge because then they're ready to go when they come back every year. So that's big. So we've been able to just organize the day of. My house is the headquarters of of the race, of Race for Wanza. So I do a lot of work beforehand as far as getting, a lot of smaller, meticulous things done as soon as I can. Keeping things organized for our team leaders. We have a checklist for them. We have like operations manual that shows what everybody is doing along the race path. So nobody is in the dark of anything. This year we have a Google Drive for all the volunteers to be able to check in and look up everything that we're doing. Do they need to see the route? Do they need whatever they need? It's right there because everybody has a cell phone.
Yeah.
So we've just been able to like a lot of those operation things. We've been able to like, oh, we do like it's fine. We know what to do. Like it's no big deal. We have a friend of ours. She helps us sell items, and she is a rock star at it. Just little things like that. When we have such a good support system, we're able to, hey, do we need to order this? Like another thing this year, I didn't mention is along the race path, we have made it. Everybody will have pom poms and clappers, and little things like that
Yes.
make it a joy for people to. Not only are they going to come race or walk
Right.
and have a good time, but they get more cheering along the way, which is something that one of the founders of the organization was like, okay, this year we've gotten some stuff down. Like, let's make it more of a cheering. We got clappers, we have noisemakers and pom poms. So I'm really excited to see just little stuff like that happen.
Yeah, and it obviously it helps. And speaking from a runner's perspective, it helps us get to the finish line or even complete the race in generality. So that's really,
Right.
really good. You talk about obviously the headquarters being at your house, obviously. So talk to me about what's going on now, leading up to the actual event in the next couple of weeks.
So I wish I could show you the corner of the shirts. So we got our shirts in last week, and so it's like 5-6 big old boxes in the corner. And so kind of what I'm doing ahead of the game. So next week we still have our virtual aspect of the race, which has been very popular. We decided to keep that after 2020 and COVID and all that. It was really popular, and we had a lot of people that were like, no, I'm going to do the race from Philly. I'm going to do it from New York. I'm going to do it from California. And so next week, I pack up all the swag bags for that and mail those out. And then I continue to make the swag bags and, stuff them. A lot of the people that pre-registered, their shirts will go in there. So it's just like little things like that. Like in my kitchen, there's all the swag bag stuff from a lot of our sponsors. So there's like stuff all over the house. We have a shed in the back that has like the majority of everything, but it does overflow into the house. So little things like that. And every year I get excited. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of little mini meticulous like day-to-day things. I do enjoy it. Some days I'm like, oh, this is a lot. But it is, the end result is seeing everybody's face on April 13th. So that makes me very, very happy.
Absolutely. And you talk about obviously pre-registered and virtual. So how many runners and walkers do you have obviously pre-registered versus virtual?
So pre-registered, I think our number is almost 200. And so virtual, we cut off virtual on April 1st. So I'll get the final count for that. But typically our average number is at least 20 to 25 virtual racers. So that's exciting. And we always tell them, like, they do a great job whenever they walk or run. They tag us, take pictures, videos, tag us on social media, and that's how they're a part of our day. So It's really
fun. And so are those numbers kind of up versus 2023 numbers?
So as far as like pre-register, we're always really shocked. We still have a lot of people, you could still register the day of, but so far for 2024, our pre-register numbers as of the other day was almost 200. So we still have a couple more weeks, like 2 more weeks, and you can pre-register up until, I want to say it's Friday the 12th. So it cuts off the day before. But you can still come out and register the day of. So we're really excited.
Yes.
I think like every year, really think this is going to be the biggest year. So it makes me excited. It makes me nervous. But in a good way.
Yes. And I know back in 2018, you said that obviously that was the biggest year for you all. So as a co-organizer, Miss Michele, what steps are you actually taking to make sure that this year and next year will be the biggest?
It's, we have a good group of people, and taking notes from not only our attendees, but our volunteers. That's how we've been able to get to this point. Kind of listening to like what they would like to see. A lot of things take money, and that's why we do this. We need to raise money. We're a grassroots organization. Whatever we raise, it goes into this race and it goes back out to the community. So we've been taking that feedback serious from all of our volunteers, supporters, Tywanza's family. They're huge in this event for us. So we just listen. I think that's the best thing we've been able to do over these last few years is really listen and feedback and having these conversations. Like after the race, we come back here, we pack everything up, and we're talking about we're like April 13th at noon when we're back here at my house.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about 2025 and how to make it like so we get the ball rolling like right after we're done with one. And that has been really beneficial for us.
And I know a portion of the funds raised will also be donated to the Tywanza Sanders Scholarship Fund, which provides scholarships for students here in Charleston County. So what is the Doughnut Fund's mission to actually strengthen diversity here in the Lowcountry?
Well, I think the biggest thing we can do is really like fellowship, network. This event is just bringing every and anybody together. And we have to kind of start there. Just having conversations, just having a really good positive event to do can lead to a lot of change. Like if you would have asked me 8 years ago, would we been able to be where I would have never believed it, because we have so many different people come out and so many different people support us, which is just a blessing.
Absolutely. And going back to 2025, numbers wise, how do you want to, expand that from a registration standpoint?
Well, I think for 2025, being that it's year 10, we have to pull out all the stops. We're already brainstorming on what we can do. Maybe some contests to really get the public involved in it. Just little things like that. I'm not trying to spoil it because some things we already know what we're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
But just really doing whatever we can to. I think for year 10, we want everybody from the community to really, really be a part of year 10 a little bit more, I think, than we have in the past. So just like small things, maybe, have a drawing contest for somebody to submit. We have a design on our swag bags, like something like that. We have a really special shirt for year 10. Just little things like that, because those are things that we think is special, but we also think that the community will like really enjoy. And just really making it like a party where you can come, you can have fun, you can walk, you can run, you can eat donuts, you can listen to music, you can, meet Wanza's family, like just hang out with us. We're a really fun group of people.
Yeah.
And Race for Wanza has become it's become a family of just volunteers and community people just coming together for a really, really good event and raising money for a good cause.
And how much money have you all raised over the past 10 years? Close to it.
Well, so we've given almost $30,000 in scholarships over these last few years, which is huge. And hopefully we continue to do so we can add a couple more scholarships. Like that's really our plan. We want to be able to give out as many scholarships as possible. Maybe that may be a surprise for year 10. But we're thinking of anything and everything we can do.
Yes. And going back into the past, what is the biggest difference about this race from a personal standpoint?
For me personally, when the race started, I was just the sister of the guy that helped put it on. I just kind of I walked it and had a good time. But for me personally, it's been able just to kind of see the growth of where we've become. And sometimes you don't really see that in the moment. Um, but thinking back and looking at pictures and just to see the smile on people's faces and to see uh, how proud Miss Felicia is of us for just being friends of her son. And I don't think she thought we would ever be, where we are today. Because I don't know if I was like, look, I don't know how we're going to do this. And then every year I'm surprised that we get it done.
Yeah.
So it's been a wild ride to be here for 9 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank God for the success that you all have, indeed. So, if I or somebody else who's actually watching this particular interview want to run or walk this particular race, how do we go about it?
So you can go to our Facebook, our Instagram. We have the link. You can go to race4achievement.org. Go to our website, and it'll take you to the link to register on Eventbrite. And speaking of that, next year we will have a different way of doing that. So we have a couple surprises up our sleeve to make things a little easier and to be able to, for the community to be able to do it a smoother way and also save us a couple of dollars. Wow. So we're really excited about what's to come.
And a quick who, what, when, where, and how. Where's this going to take place?
So it's Saturday, April 13th. The race starts at 9. That's when we blow the whistle and everybody's gets ready to go. But you can get out there as early as like 7:30, pick up your stuff. We start the race at Kids Garden. It's a cool school, so directly behind Half Moon Outfitters in South Windermere. So we are really excited. So everybody, come on out, have a good time, walk, run, compete, eat some donuts. Bring your family, bring your dog. Like, it's just a really good time.
That's really amazing. Looking forward to this exciting event as well, coming up in April. For now, Michele Gray, thank you so much for your time. And again, welcome back to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome.